22 years back, Jack Ma introduced Alibaba to the world. It grew at a fast pace until today, where it is famous as China's biggest e-commerce platform and among the biggest companies in the world. However, the past few months were seen as trouble for the company. In April 2021, Alibaba got fined by China a record $2.8 billion after a monopoly probe. Jack has an association with the Ant Group, where he holds the position of controlling stake. This company was also asked to restructure its business, since it suffered a suspension of its IPO back in November 2020. After that incident, Jack Ma disappeared from the public eye. It was a notable thing internationally, as he was a confident public speaker back then. It was shocking news for everyone. But for China, Alibaba and Ant were not the only tech masters there. Many thought that China's good days in technology supremacy are over now. Now is the right time for the question, what will be the future of China's biggest tech companies? Ma got his first interaction with the internet in 1995 during his trip to the USA as an English teacher. He researched over it and saw products from all over the world, except China. That's when he came with the idea of Alibaba, which he successfully launched in 1999. The same year, Tencent came into being. The businesses grew along, spreading their branches into wide new areas. Both these companies became the twin balusters of China's internet industry. And these bring a revolutionary change. Talking about the most successful apps in the USA, Tencent created a great combination of them all. While Alibaba emerged as an e-commerce giant but expanded its functions into a wide range, including entertainment and logistics. The apps introduced by Tencent and Alibaba are used by over 1 billion people. Each of the companies has a market capitalization of more than $500 billion. They funded billions of these dollars in supporting Chinese technology startups. In the first decade of the 21st century, the Chinese government let these internet sectors grow and come along, since they didn't catch much attention. The capital of China thought that these companies will help and groom the Chinese economy. However, soon as the company grew large enough, the government thought of it as a threat, since it got enough power to grow out of control of its government. The ability of the company to get control of data of 1.4 billion people and combine it with artificial intelligence gave them a big idea of the public mind, economy, and the key industries. This threat was a central concern for the ruling party in China, that, if the company kept growing at the same pace, it might overpower the Chinese Communist Party. This power was something that the government never wanted to let go of. Resultantly, in November 2019, it halted Ant's $35 billion worth of IPO. This event was linked to Jack Ma's criticism speech towards China's regulatory authorities, which he gave a month back in October. That speech was attended seriously by China's government officials. Although the tension was a decade old by then, this event became the tipping point in the situation. Ant was essential to Alibaba since it guarded its online payments, assets management, lending, and insurance. By June 2020, it had been involved in payments worth $17 trillion, and at a time, it had the greatest money market in the world of $173 billion. Because of its versatile services, Ant became a threat to the local banks. However, Alibaba holds just 2% of the money involved, while the rest was on the state banks, so the biggest risk was on the government's side. A day before the IPO of Ant was suspended, the government threw out strict rules, asking the company to fund at least 30% of these loans for financial institutions, calling Jack Ma for a meeting. The initial actions were taken months ago, as China clamped down on the financial arms of Ant and other tech giants. By September, Ant was asked to overhaul its business into a financial holding institution, just like a bank. It was followed by an inspection of Jack Ma's authority on media. He seemed to own 100% of the South China Morning Post in Hong Kong. 30% of Weibo, a social platform, was under his ownership. Also, he was said to have 30% authority over the Itsai media. This mentioned the influence of Jack Ma on Chinese society, while the Chinese government wanted to have its hand over this information. Soon after Ant's IPO suspension, Jack Ma disappeared from the public. In past, he appeared as a public figure, fighting the rules and bringing up the little guys in China. He emphasized how his company is supporting China's economy with job creation and improving China's image overall. Jack Ma soon reappeared on January 20, 2021. He started projecting his thoughts on philanthropy in a humble and gentle tone. He was now conforming to the government's requirement from him, that is to lift and bring forward the poor sector of China. The Chinese government changed its way and showed less tolerance towards the rebellious parties, bashing its policies as Jack Ma did in past. After the IPO suspension incident of ANT, Alibaba has been fined $2.8 billion for monopolist conduct, while ANT is undergoing overhauling. The government might want to knock down Jack Ma's public image a little. The government has continued to look into the monopolistic companies including Meituan, the food delivery business, and 32 other technology companies such as Tencent and TikTok. The government doesn't want to make its tech companies weaker, but at the same time, it doesn't want them to overpower its authority. It's also empowering its smaller companies a way to come forward and grow along. Is that the right thing that the Chinese government needs to do? Looking forward to hearing your thoughts on this in the comment section. Share this video and subscribe to Success Dose for more.